Welcome to All In Live. I'm Eric Holderness, and today we're setting out to drastically reduce the cost of textbooks by going all in for Textbooks 2.0. Throughout the day, we hope you join us for conversations with those closest to the Textbooks 2.0 initiative, like our current guests, K-State faculty member Brian Linschild and Delmar Larson of LibreText, two pioneers of the nationwide open educational resources movement. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Hey, I'd like to start with you, Delmar, as a guest here, as sort of an outsider. I would love your perspective on what the national landscape of open educational resources, that's a mouthful, looks like. How will the LibreText agreement that we've now entered into here at K-State help advance that movement?
Thank you for the nice question. So I'm going to refer to it as OER because it's a little bit easier in order to spit out of the mouth right here. So the OER landscape has been around for 15 to 20 years, depending upon what level you want to talk about that. But in the last few years, it's gotten a significant amount of effort in order to scale up. It's actually quite exciting. So we've had a lot of interest both at campuses, at states, and even at the federal level in order to pursue OER. And the benefit from that, obviously, and what will be discussed multiple times here, is that it removes the barriers between educational resources and students in order to be able to augment and maximize our educational mission as educators. So the LibreText project was funded by several federal grants and a state grant. We've received National Science Foundation money, Department of Education, the U.S. Department of Education Open Textbook Pilot Inaugural Award, and a few other resources. And that money and that support was meant in order to be able to build a platform that everyone in America can utilize, and especially what K-State students are able to capitalize on as part of our agreement. So the platform provides a centralized infrastructure in order to facilitate the construction of OER material, the distribution of OER material, and then a platform in order to facilitate student usage of that OER material and tie it together into one single infrastructure in order to be able to move it forward. To that end, we've established, built, and harvested, which is our term for integrating existing OER material, somewhere on the order of 330,000 pages that students can capitalize on in order to pursue their educational studies. The LibreText project is the most popular OER project on the internet today, and we serve approximately 1 million page views per day, and that provides an opportunity again for promoting our mission on individual campuses and with K-State in particular here. We've been working with Brian Linschild for several years in order to be able to pursue nutrition, and that's where he's going to be showcasing what he was doing. So we're very excited with our arrangement with K-State.
Yeah, and I think so are we. No one more than, I would say, our very own Brian Linschild, who has agreed to show off one of his open educational resources. I knew I'd get it eventually. So Brian, would you mind?
Yes, I lost you, Eric, but I hope that you threw it to me to showcase my resource, and so that's what I'm going to do. This is LibreText platform that Delmar has been developing, and so my resource has been one of the beta, or kind of a prototype, if you will, of how this might work. So the way that it's designed is to try to have more emphasis on images, less on heavy text. There are about 380 of these integrated questions within the resource, as you can see here. So there's a number of these that are throughout the resource. There's, so I'm scrolling through so you can see what this looks like. There's also embedded video for students to be able to utilize to help their learning. So to give you a better sense on what this looks like, I'm scrolling down through one of the pages that students would learn from. So lots of these questions are embedded. And Delmar has been able to set up a system where that we can see how students do on these, so that I can assign a chapter of questions. And so students can do those for a minimal number of points. But one of the reasons why I like those embedded questions is some of the data that I have here. So this is data that I have from some previous experience with my OER when it did not have these questions. And so I asked them how often they used a textbook in their class or used my resource compared to a normal textbook. And so you can see that they said they used it somewhat more than normal. And so what did that translate to? So you can see that this is campus students and this is online students. And so it shows the frequency they reported using them. So never, less than once a month, once every 2 weeks, once a week, 2 to 3 times a week, and then more than 3 times a week. And so you can see here that some of the things that are notable to me are kind of summarized up here. So 40.5% of campus and 12.5% of my online students reported using it every 2 weeks or less. And so that's not very often, considering that this is a 3 times per week course. And so that's not a lot of use. And so this is some data after we embedded those questions I was showing you about, and you can assign those and have the expectation students complete those. You can see that the most notable thing is you can see that we have 0% now of campus students that are reporting using it less than once every 2 weeks, whereas 40.5% before. Now, like I have a asterisk down here, it's not the only change I made, but it is one of the changes that I did make there. And then the other thing that is somewhat powerful about open educational resources is just the capability of faculty to be able to customize them. And so I like to show this table as an example. I like showing this table because this table is not my idea. This was a student who put this together as a way to kind of summarize the things that she was learning that I was teaching in the course, and said that, do you feel like this is a good way to summarize information? I thought it was an excellent way to be able to do that. And so I've taken it and refined it a little bit and put it into the resource itself. And so it's been something that has been a great addition. And so that's part of the open educational resources, is that you can have this ability to customize and kind of adapt and make it so it best is going to support student learning and success.
Sure. No, thank you both for your insights and showing us around there, Brian. That is really neat, and I think gives, again, those of us that are no longer in the classroom a real good look at what it is our students are learning with today. And so thank you both, Brian, Delmar, for all you do to push affordable higher education forward. That's all for now, but we hope you can join us again at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time and hear from our K-State students, Callie, a user and lover of Textbooks 2.0. Until then, thanks for joining, and thanks for going all in.